Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
When I first started to write Locker Gnome, that is one of my websites, at least, well, it used to not be a website, it was just an email newsletter. It largely contained my perspectives and ideas and opinions on new and interesting things that I found on the internet. Software, in some cases links to hardware reviews, news, information, tips, tricks that were centric to the Windows operating system. And about 10 years later, or a little over 10 years later, it's evolved to what is becoming a blog network. Now, I only bring this up because we had a user ask a question. Would you recommend that a new blogger join a blog network or just go it alone? And unfortunately, this is not going to be an easy question to answer because there is no right or wrong way to tell you how to go through the paces of blogging. You can go one of two ways. I've experienced both, certainly. Locker Gnome, in many ways, though it was only an email newsletter, was very much like a blog. I had and still do have a relationship with all those subscribers. Certainly, that relationship has changed over the years. I've given life to my personal blog at chris.pirillo.com, and many facets to that, including the media.pirillo.com, and of course what we do here, live.pirillo.com. Blogging is just a platform for you to communicate ideas, whether they're personal, professional, or somewhere in between. Now, as far as blogging on your own or going with a network, there are advantages and disadvantages to each. So let's try to see it from the advantage of going your own way. An advantage is you get your own URL. You could register it, of course, like at GoDaddy.com, and you can get the coupon code Chris1, I believe, will give you a 10% discount on that at GoDaddy.com. How do you like that? I got my little sponsor plug in there, and it goes right with the flow. They ought to like that. So you'd have your own domain. You'd be able to choose your own software, your platform, because there's a variety of different blogging platforms out there, and we've talked about them before in the past. Let's see here. Another advantage is that you could pretty much change it on a whim, any given direction. You don't have to blog about anything other than what you're thinking or what you want to blog about. Now, the disadvantages of blogging on your own is, well, for instance, I've seen so many great posts out there, blog posts, great thoughts, great composition, but unfortunately, since everybody has a blog, well, everybody has a blog, and your information usually gets lost in the noise of the blogosphere. So getting discovered is a big challenge. Writing something that's unique and different from everybody else is also a challenge. And most people tend to write about things their friends write about, or write about their affinities, and, well, if you can think of an affinity or a hobby, chances are someone's already blogging about it and is certainly leading the space in that particular arena. That's not always the case, but I can tell you 9 times out of 10, if you can think of it, someone's probably already blogged about it or is actively blogging about it, either independently or with a blogging network. That is probably the largest disadvantage of having your own blog, is the lack of being able to be seen or be discovered or stand out from the crowd. So the advantages of a blogging network really are kind of the opposite of having your own blog and your own blog URL, your own website, and hosting your blog on it. The advantages is in a network, you're reliant on what that blogging network uses to promote your information, cross-promote it with other blog posts on that network. Of course, you've got other types of blog networks that are not so much blog networks as much as they are blog hosting providers. I consider a blog network something that ties one independent blog with another independent blog. Now, the disadvantages of being in a blog network is that you may or may not own your own content. You may or may not have your own blog URL to share with everybody. There are, other pitfalls because you are reliant on someone else's service to get your ideas across. I mean, like I said, there's really no right or wrong answer. And the nice thing is you could probably get away with doing both. Some people have. Locker Gnome has evolved and continues to evolve as a blogging network for people. While I still maintain my own independent blog, I'm certainly trying to help other people who want to get discovered and make money from blogging. I'm putting those resources together and continue to do so. Thank goodness I found a lot of you guys through the chat room and just the internet in general. So yeah, I guess, like I said, it's a difficult question to answer. It just ultimately depends on, do you want to run your own server? Do you want to be on a hosted server? Do you want to pay money? Do you not want to pay money to have a blog? Do you want to have your own blog URL? Is there a chance to have your own blog URL in relation to an actual blogging network? I mean, it's varied. You have to ask all these questions of yourself. You got to see the advantage. I can tell you this, after being a part of many blogging networks, independent of my own personal blog, I dropped a lot of them because the advantages really didn't work out in the end. I mean, the advantage of the blog network is that you get discovered, or that you're a part of something bigger than you, or what you yourself can do. And every blog network that I've joined just didn't pay out, not just in monetary value, but in traffic or discovery, all these other bits and pieces. They just didn't have those connections completed for me. So I ultimately kind of went my own way, and of course have thought about what it takes to make a successful blog network based on my own successes and failures inside the world of blogging, and you'll be hearing more about that with Lockernome. But I approach Lockernome and how I'm trying to build it out much in the same way that we've been able to refine our conference, GnomeDex, which is largely a conference for the blogosphere, and boy, I just finished the seventh one, and it was a challenge, but I think everybody is very, very open to the idea of what it wants to be, this conference thing, and it's largely a conference that's based on all my frustrations and successes in the world of dealing with conferences, specifically as a blogger myself. So I don't know, what do you guys think out there? It's a long and complicated answer for a rather short and complex question. But if you have any advantages or disadvantages for hosting your own blog or becoming a part of a blog network, by all means, make a suggestion. I'm sure you're going to post your own blog URL in there, and I know you're going to be asking me questions about Lockernome, but like I said, stay tuned. We're hopefully going to be announcing more. I can tell you beta tests have been pretty successful with the new Lockernome. And people are already popping in my own... Oh, there's Peanuts blog, apparently. People popping in one of my... Would you consider this a live blog, what we do? Because it's kind of like, I'm just doing things in life. It's kind of a blog, isn't it? live.pirillo.com. It's a live blog video thing. Swing by. We're in the chat room all the time. You've got the URL, obviously. And if not, scroll up or rewind or do whatever you got to do. Just come by and say hi.